We got ourselves a game. It's another best of 3. Who's going to face Lawlight in the Winnerbracket semi-final? The winner of that will, of course, then meet Hawk later on, as he is in the Winnerbracket final after his glorious defeat over Happy yesterday. The loser of this, I think, will face Shao Kai, if I'm not mistaken, or Labyrinth. We'll figure this out. Someone is waiting first in the lower bracket. And there we go. Our first match starts on AZ. It is 2 of the best Koreans that we got in the entire world. It is FoCuS versus Sock. So let's go.
Oh, baby. Who's your favorite player, Remo Demo?
You know the answer.
It's Happy. Is it Happy?
It is. It
you
is.
get all excited when you get, because I like, these have all been excellent games throughout the tournament. But get to watch Sock, get a little excited. It's a little nice. It's like watching like a Cruncher versus Hitman finals. It's like get a little ooh. I want both players to win, but I don't want to see either player eliminated. But it's still, this is gonna be dope. And Amazonia, not a map that honestly you tend to see too often in the standard map pools in this matchup, at least in best of 3s. It tends to get vetoed by the human players, but I guess we're seeing it more and more commonly nowadays.
And the interesting thing is also it gets vetoed by Orc players as well at times because of the fact that the Archmage here can creep level 2 very quickly. 100% reliable, you can't do anything about it. Now in the olden days, when we still saw Grunt Shaman, then this was also pretty good for early game creeping for the Farseer, because with the Grunt Lightning Shield you can do the same, creep your own level 2 and then contest the middle with Chain Lightning, which is pretty cool. But of course this is the new day and age of Farseer and Headhunters. Sometimes on this map specifically we see 1 Grunt into Headhunters, but here it's just pure Headhunters right out the gate for FoCuS. Now, I have seen quite a few Orcs going back into Grunt builds on certain maps, especially Concealed Hill, for example. But FoCuS is like the one true Bastion who just always still sticks with Headhunters, I feel.
Yeah, the way I've had that Grunt opener explained to me was if there's a creep route the human can do in which they can get level 2 and you can't stop it, such as Amazonia, of course, then you can go 1 Grunt and just play level 2 against level 2. So I do think this is kind of a misstep in the build order of FoCuS, not going for that Grunt opener. I think that is probably the right way to play this map, but he's going to go aggressive, and there's always the chance for there to be, unlucky Lightning Shield, maybe a bit too much damage, a bit too greedy of creeping. And then you can get some peasant kills, but most importantly, what's going to be here for the harass of FoCuS is going to be the damage on the Archmage and the Footman.
Oof. It was almost in time there to steal the last hit, but of course with only 1 right-click lightning ball from the Farseer, not so hard to get that one. Not so easy, to get that one. So it's the Archmage with the fast level 2. And that cloak can actually be really nice to have if you're getting pressured by the Headhunters, if you're in a bad position. Could save them quite a few hit points, could force some more resources out of FoCuS. And yeah, now we have the level lead here for the human. The build, by the way, very interesting nowadays, where in the past from Chimiko we saw a lot of 2 farm into tech, really greedy play without a tower, and then a 3-footy defend. Here for Sock, it's kind of middle of the road. 3 farm, tech, no tower yet, 5 footmen before defend.
Yeah, these small adjustments can make the difference, and we're seeing like the styles come out of these players. Everyone has a little bit of just a slightly different approach. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing game-changing. It's not like you go in a different starting hero, but these differences can change how the Orc has to react to your style. Do you have a tower? Do you not? How many footmen do you have? What timing do you have? Defend. And defend, of course, will be on the way for Saki. So far, done a brilliant job of keeping his footman very healthy. We see, okay, now he's maybe overextending a little bit, and this footman's going to take a ton of damage, but up till that point, footman extremely healthy, and that's what you love to see by the time defense finished, and a deny still keeping that Farseer focus on 0 experience.
This is an amazing early game for Sock. Only 1 foot took damage, no peasants died, no experience at all on the Farseer. Only the AM a bit bruised here, but now defend is finished, and now he can take these engagements. Now he can run in against the Headhunters, and he can even force them away, and with perfect defense toggling. Are you seeing this, Carson? He's even chasing them, catching up to them, and minimizing the damage greatly. 1 footy is going to go down, yes, but look at the lumbers looking great for Sock. Would love to see perhaps a lumber mill, though I guess perhaps he doesn't even need it at the same time, and he's making it all the way to tier 2 without an arcane tower. That's pretty wild.
That's awesome. The Wolves now going in, but they're going to be immediately met with a call of militia. And one footman fell, yes, and that was nice credit to FoCuS. He had a good focus fire with the Farseer and the Wolves in the back, and then kiting with the Headhunters in the other direction, so the Farseer could attack the entire time. That was nicely done, but one footman is well worth this sort of an early game for Sock. He doesn't lose any peasants in the main base, deals with the Wolves, and defend is still online, so he can still pressure these Headhunters, and importantly, he could also pressure perhaps the tier 2 tech. Might be a little bit more difficult than pressuring the Headhunters, but we could see that, and we'll see probably a Panda soon. Would doubt this would be a Beastmaster, probably just going to stick to the Panda throughout the series.
Earlier against Soen, we saw a lot of Mountain King. That's how Sock was able to win his games. Lost when he didn't play MK, but here it does feel like a Tavern Hero would give him so much great tempo.
What?
He's delaying it still. Alchemist second.
Okay, I've seen this.
All right.
I've seen this before, weirdly enough, only on Amazonia. I don't know what it is about Amazonia. Maybe it's these middle camps that you can immediately creep quite easily, but you could do that with a Panda as well, so I don't really know why Alchemist is played on this map, but cool. Let's see.
Yeah, it's of course the way more defensive option. You're going to go into Breakers, and killing Breakers that have heal spray support is going to be very tough for the Orc. But also the damage is going to be much, much lower compared to a Panda. Alright, interesting. Thank you, by the way, Numpty with a sub and Pale Horse with the 3 months, this best channel on Twitch. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for all your support, you guys. Makes this all possible. And yeah, this is a Sock-specific choice. Alchemist. I have not seen that from anyone else before. He did show it earlier against Soen. That was the map he lost, by the way.
Interesting, interesting. He's going to get both the middle camps and the Farseer taking quite a bit of damage, but FoCuS is microing that quite well. We already saw that against Michael. His Farseer control is excellent, and he's going to go into just the standard Kodo, Shaman, and of course a double Sanctum from Sock, as you pointed out. And now the question becomes expansion timings. Will there be a tier 2 expansion? Will they both stay one base? And what is sort of the win condition for this Alchemist? You mentioned it's going to have a lot of sustain with the Breaker frontline, but if the armies get big, where's the damage coming from, really? Blizzard, maybe, actually. That's maybe the only way.
Yeah, very curious. Perhaps just out-sustain the Orc, just draw out the engagement super long, and then make use of Priest and Brilliance over time. It's a new factor in this matchup that I haven't seen before, and I imagine FoCuS also not super familiar with yet. He probably has seen it before, but not too much up to this point. Getting pressured now in the main. The first Borok gonna fall right away. Water Elemental plus Sorceress damage, doing a decent job. Interestingly, starting off with double Sorceress. So, picking up the defensive Alchemist and then trying to find some kills with the slow. Gets a Headhunter here right away. TC lands the first stomp. But it's only level 1 stomp. It's not even that much damage, and FoCuS looking to be in a bit of trouble here. Getting surrounded as well. The speed scroll not good enough to get him out. Trying to snack his way out. Oh, that was nice. The Kodo Beast opens up the surround. One Water Elemental falls. The TC finally on level 3. Gonna land the big storm right here. Acid Bomb coming in, but only on 2 real units. And the Cloak once again saving the Archmage. But the next storm comes through, dodges it with the Info Potion. Oh my god, Sock now really swagging over here. With the Priests plus Heal Spray, there's a lot of healing, but the Alchemist still not level 3. Still far away from it, in fact. And the DPS of this human army is still not looking the greatest.
Yeah, very nice fight from both players, but at the end of the day, it seems like FoCuS is trading definitely more favorably. But you mentioned drawing out the fights, and we are getting to the late stage of this fight. So now maybe Sock can find some kills. The Acid Bomb is putting in some decent damage. The heroes are still relatively healthy, but is that a surround on the Alchemist? Not quite, but the Purge might secure at least a Forced Town Portal. It will be passed over. The Kodo might go down. It does go down before the Town Portal. But at the end of the day, I think... Oh, it's hard to say, actually. Maybe Sock got some better trades there. And, of course, he's going to be able to fight much earlier than FoCuS, thanks to the Priest, thanks to the Alchemist, and thanks to the Brilliance Aura.
Beast count still super low. He only made 2 Priests until this point. He only has 1 left now. There was a lot of gold for Sock after that TP, but quickly spending it as well. And the expansion is soon to finish. FoCuS, of course, has to spend a bit more time recovering. Farseer completely out of mana. TC is looking actually good on the mana, but a lot of units are also hurt. And here comes the push. Sock attacking the expansion without a TP. It's a bit scary, but Militia coming from the south to help out in this little attack. So it's just getting caught. Speed scroll used very aggressively. That's the only one. No speed slow to get out, but there is a TP on the FoCuS. Alchemist again getting focused. That ring has been so good for this Alchemist, by the way. The bonus armor absolutely crucial, but the Alchemist is going to go down in the end. No heal spray coming through, but there was all the mana from the TC committed. One more Chain Lightning. That's it here for hero spells.
And the Shamans are out of mana as well. There's 2 Kodos. Both have eaten Breakers, actually. So if FoCuS can get out of here, this would be a decent fight. But there's no way to really deal with the slow. But the question is, where's the damage to actually secure these kills? One Headhunter going to go down. A Shaman going to fall as well. A Grunt getting low. A Headhunter also getting low. The Peasants in the back trying to deal with these Kodos that have their friends in their belly. But they're going to have to get away. This is actually going to hurt in the long run. But for now, Sok has plenty of lumber. So that Alchemist has to come back. It's not going to take too long, and the expansion was canceled in the meantime. But definitely FoCuS getting slightly ahead in these exchanges, and because of that, the hero advantage is going to be huge in the long run. This is level 3-2 against 3-4.
Yeah, this Alchemist here being taken out over and over. And normally, it oftentimes seems like in this Tier 2 versus Tier 2, 1 base, the longer it draws out, the better it gets for the human, because either MK or Panda are going to be a huge threat in the late game, which are very hard to tackle for the Orc, especially if heal scroll count is low. But here now with the Alchemist, it's going to be a much different story. Just like, I really don't know if the Alchemist choice was better than the Panda's choice. I wonder, like, what's really the benefit? I have trouble seeing that at the moment.
Yeah, there was the interesting thing you pointed out where he went for 2 Sorks instead of the Priest. So obviously the Alchemist can sort of replace those Priests early, so you can power creep, but still creep aggressively on the map with having Sorks and take those early fights, because your healing's replaced by your hero. But yeah, could he have done the same things with just a Panda instead and still been that aggressive and done just as much, even better, and had a better late game? Maybe. But the Acid Bomb's still going to be good if you can manage to get the Alchemist up to level 3 and the Archmage up to level 4. Maybe retrain eventually into Blizzard, possibly. Like, maybe he could have the damage later on. But for now, just 3 Kodos isn't actually a ton of damage for FoCuS either. And there's starting to be a decent wall of breakers.
Well, the Kodos just digested, and so will the next one. More experience going to the Orc. FoCuS getting close to 4, which isn't really that relevant. And again, the Alchemist getting caught in the front. Doesn't have an Invul Potion. Again, gonna go down. The heal spray, not good enough. GG is called, and the Alchemist experiment fails again, like it did in the previous round.
I'm a big fan of the Alchemist, I gotta say. Especially Acid Bomb. One of the greatest spells in all of Warcraft, but not here. Not against FoCuS. It looked really good for Sok for a long time. Especially that one fight on the right-hand side. But attacking that Expo without a TP apparently was a little bit too risky. And then FoCuS just ripped his head off. And it's one map away from the Winnerbracket semifinal.
I suppose he only had one timing to actually cancel that expansion, and he didn't have the gold to rebuy the town portal, so he had to go. But, you know, with 2 Sanctums, you can always just counter expand. You're not on a timer, at least with your army, but I suppose he put himself on a timer with just going Alchemist. Again, it comes back to that time and time again. How well does that scale into the late game? So just a weird strat that puts Sok in a strange position, and FoCuS takes full advantage of it. We'll see if he goes to something more standard into game 2. Hopefully he does.
Okay, we got good news, ladies and gentlemen, as we have a new donation. Jaspers! $25, just like that, for the tournament prize pool, 4,033. Much love, Jaspers. Much love.
Getting up there. Getting up to that $900 mark for first place here. Might even be there.
Getting closer and closer to Remo's special creep route shared to Warcraft
right.
2. Ooh, way more important for me, to be honest.
That's the big prize, boys. That's the big one.
That's what all the pros are playing for as well, by the way. Their money is nice and all, but getting the Remo special creep routes, that's the real deal.
Unfortunately, Ancient Isles no longer in the map pool, but boy, oh boy, would I have been able to give you guys a creep route on Ancient Isles.
Wait, so that's why Laliat and FoCuS were playing hit and run, because they wanted to draw out the tournament longer so that more donations for the prize pool come in, so that we can get more creep routes. They want 4 instead of 2. So that's why everyone's just playing hit and run right now. It makes sense.
Big brain plays. Yeah, Remo, you had some good creep routes on Echo Isle as well. Looking forward to that then. We got map number 2 coming up, which is Tidehunters, and FoCuS and Sock battling each other here. Let's see if FoCuS can go through with a 2-0, or if it's Sock drawing this out and forcing game 3. Maybe with a different second hero this time. We'll see. Have fun, boys.
All right, well, Tidehunters, we were talking about a lot about the creep routes earlier on Amazonia. I think Tidehunters is definitely a map where you cannot resist creeping level 2 with the turtles from the green camp in the middle and the other turtle camp if you're allowed by the human players. So I think I'd be very surprised to see FoCuS not do at least a little bit of creeping in the early game on Tidehunters, and Sock could always incorporate his little turtle camp in the middle as part of his level 2 route just to deny the Farseer from creeping that. That might be what we see, but could always be something different, as with Sock and FoCuS, they do tend to change things up on occasion.
I'm looking at the base. Is FoCuS finally gonna not make a war mill? He says no. No, sir, I will not. I am nowadays a troll player, no longer an orc player. I want to have my headhunters. I'm gonna probably go for that level 2 creep route. It is really enticing to go for on this map, the double greens in the middle. I'm not sure exactly what the timing is. Like, the militia, of course, are going to take the sea giant camp first. And then if you go into the middle with the archmage, are you there in time to contest? Not sure. But if you do, you're also running into Farseer with wolves with a frail level 1 archmage. So it's always very difficult to find the perfect creep route, the perfect opening that also covers ideally all options from the opponent's side.
For sure, yeah. Trying to deny that level 2 can be difficult. It's a very strong creep route for Orc to creep both those turtles right away, but I mean, we could always see Sock maybe go for that green camp first. It's a little, I think I've seen that once at top level, taking that green camp and then going and taking the sea giant camp afterwards, but definitely a lot of metagaming that goes in. The Footman is going to scout to confirm what the creep route for FoCuS will be. And yeah, like I said, I'd be very surprised to see him not go for it. Of course, you can creep it with just the wolves. And we'll see Sock going for the standard creep route as well. We'll wait and see. There's no third farm yet, Remo Demo.
Yeah, this is going to be a very greedy tech by Sock. 3 peasants only, 2 farm tech. And makes sense, I guess, on this map. You know the Farseer is going to be busy in the early game. He very likely will be creeping that level 2 at the start, which should give you some breathing room. And that is a ridiculously fast tech, which could either mean a super fast second hero from the tavern or an MK second that doesn't make you fall behind too much.
Yeah, I like that from Sock. I think that's a great adjustment to knowing that this is the most common map for the Orc to creep level 2. Okay, now we got our question answered. He goes to contest that level 2 on the Farseer, and he's able to stop it, but not able to creep it himself. But the Water Elemental going to block that Farseer. The Footman's still relatively healthy. Defend is going to be built after 3 Footmen this time around, so this is kind of a cool build from Sock. This time not able to deny the Water Elementals, not able to deny that level 2 as it seems for too long. So FoCuS will pull ahead in experience.
And it's normally not what you want to have happen as the Archmage, but with this build, there's basically no choice. Yeah, I saw Chimiko playing this build quite a bit. It lines up nicely. It feels weird because your footy count is so low, but your defense is so quick, and so is your attack. And you get the farm after, and look at the timing. Defense finishing in just a second, and the farm just 3 seconds later. Oh, beauty!
Love it, love it.
Time for more footies.
Let me some optimizations. That's beautifully done, but there's still more headhunters soon than there will be footmen, and the footmen are already about half health, and that's just the price you pay to try to contest that green camp. Now, 2 footmen getting very, very low. I don't think they're at risk of dying if they make it to the back of the base. We don't see anything like a blacksmith yet, so it will just be 2 sanctums again, of course, the standard choice nowadays. The question now becomes, what is the second hero going to be for Sock? He still needs to get level 2. He doesn't have Aura yet, and that means he doesn't have a second Water Elemental, or another Water Elemental, I should say, at this stage in the game, which would help him to maybe be a little bit more aggressive. But for now, it's going to be all FoCuS. FoCuS even has the map control to maybe go for an aggressive camp right now.
Yeah, perhaps if he had gone to the other green, this would have been better. After the Sea Giant, if he goes to the Murlocs, then most likely he's allowed level 2. Of course, the Farseer is also allowed level 2. But the Farseer gets level 2 anyways, so
yep.
Maybe that's the mistake here in the early creep route. He's going to need now a shop soon to get that regen scroll going. Tier 2 is finished, but Sok not at the tavern to go for a hero there, and he keeps getting pressured. FoCuS really has his thumb on Sok this game.
Yeah, this is kind of getting to disastrous points. One footman dies, another one getting very low in the main base. There's no shop currently. There's no access, like you pointed out, for the tavern, and there's pretty much one footman in fighting shape right now. The first rifle comes out. Oh, the blacksmith was built at the Sea Giant. I was wondering, like, is it going to be rifle caster? But I didn't see that at all. So it will be rifles, but the first rifle is being so pressured. He's already 100 health, and there's going to eventually be a chain lightning.
With some cheeky plays, but I feel like it's a little style over substance here, this build so far.
Yeah.
He's trying to be very cute with many things, but it doesn't quite work out in the end. Also, the fact that he never got an arcane tower in the main, it's hurting him a bit here. Archmage finally got level 2 from a wolf, but it's just all looking great for FoCuS so far.
Wait, there's 3 corpses in the main base. Was that the 2 footmen and a peasant, or what are those corpses from? Yeah, I think both footmen that were low in the main base died to wolves. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage. And now the Mountain King, that is in fact very early because the 2-farm tech, doesn't really have the forces to creep, and he's got to creep a little bit with the Archmage just to speed it up enough.
Yeah, that's the problem when you have a small army here. Like the Turtle Gold Mine and the other camp, the Null camp, and the lab. All the camps you can't really take with a small army, so the Archmage has to take part here. The only camp he could solo creep with the MK would be the natural, but that's also gonna take forever, and just is taking Sok for just such a long time to get into fighting shape.
And FoCuS is now power creeping with the headhunters that he lost none of in the early game. He's going to get a very early expansion up. Playing sort of into the rifle caster style by getting this early expansion, but he's already got good grunt numbers. He's got 2. He's going to have a 3rd on the way soon, and he knows he's already killed a rifle. He's already killed 3 footmen. He knows he's going to be head in experience, and he even gets the greater mana as well. And now he's going to get the red camp. This could mean heal wards. This could mean mana stone. This could be a lot of nice items for FoCuS. So definitely pulling further and further ahead. But Sok still has an opportunity for a timing if he can get level 3 Mountain King and maybe go steal the heal scrolls right now if he has the gold.
Absolutely crazy creeping. The good thing about playing against rifles also with Farseer is this is also always going to be valuable to have wolves. It's going to be hard to dispel both at the same time, especially if they're split. Against breakers, you're going to run into issues, and the Farseer is going to fall off heavily, but against rifles, he's always going to have good value. Another problem of this rifle strategy is, of course, also the TC is going to be very impactful. But Sok is great with MK and with rifles. He's trusting in his familiarity and strength with the style rather than just straight up the strategic prowess of it.
Crystal Ball scouts the natural expansion right now, sees it's uncrapped, so Sok doesn't necessarily know about the expansion from FoCuS, but he might have an inkling of where the Torn Chieftain is creeping. Heal Scroll and Push of Invulnerability were stolen. Both players getting decent items. I mean, Mana Stone, greater mana for the Torn Chieftain against Rifle Caster is really strong, but Sobi Mask is also very nice. Double Mana Potion purchase from the shop, that's necessary. This timing's going to be very strong for Sok, but is it strong enough?
Another big mana. Honestly, that's too many mana items. You can't even use all of these. You can't even use all of these in one fight. Having some heal mana, heal items in there, some heal pots would be a lot better. But, well, if we have 3 fights, then this could certainly be very good. I'm not sure if we're going to have that many. FoCuS attacking into the main as he knows that the timing for his expansion is going to be dangerous, it's going to be exposed. Very good attack, forces the TP home, and can just walk it off with a superior movement speed. The MK is forced to just watch and weep as the orcs run away. Doesn't have boots here to really catch up. He has really, really good items on the MK. But FoCuS, again, not giving him the fight that he wants, like we saw earlier against Mikael.
Yeah, maybe passing that Mana Stone even to the Farseer could be a decent play. Just spam Chain Lightnings, and right now he's been full mana on the TC the entire time. Continuing to steal the heal scrolls, this has just been very well played so far by FoCuS. His expansion is up now, can no longer be canceled. 45, 49 even against 40 supply now. Torn Chieftain close to level 4. Double heal scroll, invis pod even for the Torn Chieftain. This is going to be a very difficult fight for Sok to win. He's going to need to pretty much land every clap on the entire army, and even then it's going to be difficult.
And breakers now starting to come in. This was a pretty rough game here for Sok. Can he somehow make this happen? Doesn't even look like that scary of an army, that scary of a push. 4 rifles, 3 priests, that's it. TC coming in, collapse from many different angles here for the Orc army. First stomp, connects decently. It was a good pre-split by FoCuS. Water Elemental though quickly getting taken out. MK, it's all down to the MK, but FoCuS now also splitting his units nicely. Scroll of speed, scroll of healing, and he's gonna force the TP out. Chain Lightning, stomp, finding, oh, not quite that rifle kill, but enough kills to still be in a good position here. Got a Devour as well. The peons are returning to mining. And Sock, well, he's gonna have to try again.
He didn't use his mana potions there, and he forced one of the heal scrolls. Of course, FoCuS, we don't even have to talk about if he uses mana items. He's always going to have the mana items, probably for the rest of the game. So, you know, forcing the heal scrolls is going to be more important for Sock here, and he managed to get rid of at least one of those, and he's got to continue to push. He's going to have more breakers reinforcing, even going into Sorks now as well. Torchief with a nice dodge there, and a big stomp to follow up the Kodo. One of them at least could eat a Rifle Falls. 2 of them purged out of position. This is just an unwinnable position for Sock, I'm afraid. The clap is huge, but there's another heal scroll to counter that.
Before the new TP, the Archmage might be going down. Stomp once more, and the AM drops. Farseer even gets level 4 towards the end. He's giving it a mana potion. You get a mana potion. You get a mana potion. Everyone has a mana potion. Even the MK still has a little one left. Getting stomped now, getting focused. The little dwarf is going to be in trouble with more purges. He could be falling here as well. There's one more purge. Mana Stone still on cooldown for a few seconds. MK might be able to make it away, but man, this was an expensive exchange for Sock. Counting the seconds, 3, 2, 1. Time for the Mana Stone. Decent splits, but the casters get caught. And there's more kills for FoCuS, closing in on level 5 on this Tauren Chieftain. MK trying his best once again. Heal pot, Mana pot. Running in, we now have Control Magic, but also a Surround. And that would have been the next kill. GG and 2-0 for FoCuS.
Damn, throw Sock down to the lower bracket, and that's a Sock who just this week defeated Lin with 2-1. FoCuS, man of the hour. Carson, you might not be too far off with your prediction that this man is a contender for the grand final tomorrow. But next, he has to go through Lawlight in a different matchup, and a matchup that I love very, very much, Night Elf versus Orc. And Sock thrown down to the lower bracket here into the second round, so it's not the ultimate lower bracket run, but it's gonna be all but easy for him to claim a high rank in this tournament now.
Yeah, it was a win-win for me, similar to how Todd had a win-win earlier. I think it was Todd we were talking about had a win-win. You know, either my favorite player makes it through, or the person I predict to make it to the grand final makes it through. I'm good. I'm chilling. Sad to see Sock kind of get dominated there. Honestly, it's a little rough, but maybe he can make a run for it.
Crazy to see FoCuS like that good. We talked about this at DreamHack already, where he positioned better than we all expected after just being a father and all. Apparently, he put in some practice hours to not being forced to spend the time with the baby. The waifu gotta deal with that, and that means we get Sock vs Shao Kai, I think.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, Sock
in the
vs
lower brackets.
Exactly. Sock vs Shao Kai in the lower bracket. It's a 1-0 lead for Mikhail, by the way, in the second part of the lower bracket. So Soen is facing elimination, just as Spiral, Chemico, and Krav before. Oh, here's the bracket, actually. Not 100% updated yet, but, you know. So Hawk's opponent will either be Lawlight or FoCuS. And I don't even know what the plan is right now. Is it lower bracket? Is it Winnerbracket? Winnerbracket? So another FoCuS? Lawlight FoCuS. Okay, that's a very good match. You should all anticipate that with joy. Thank you, Tico Broye, with a 16-month resub. Thank you, Burrow Rush, for the 500 bits. Good morning, sir, to the West Coast. Little disappointed that you're only getting up now. I mean, we got Carson here who woke up at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. for this. Tomorrow, Burrow Rush, I want to see you for the start of this. And of course, I want to see all of you guys on W3Champions, because it is the best server for Warcraft 3. And here's a little bit of an info. What do we got? Extremely well-made matchmaking for all the game modes, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 4-on-4, FFA, Footman Frenzy, Legion TD, Reign of Chaos is back. Lots of fun modes there and more to come. Which one will be revealed tomorrow, as we have a little W3Champions keynote once again prior to the grand final with Floss 2 times daily. The community manager will join us for a little bit of information. Got a great community. Discord is the place to be. The link for that is on the W3Champions homepage. And we got servers all over the world, so it doesn't matter if you're in South America or Oceania and you think, since the day Warcraft 3 was invented, our server situation sucks. Not anymore, my friends. We even got servers there for you, so you can play at even below 100 ms sometimes. And not on 250, 270 like it was for the majority of Warcraft 3 history. A reconnect feature is there as well, and of course we're here at the end of season tournaments, and we're gonna decide who's the best W3 Champions player. After a little break, we go into the Winnerbracket semifinal.